Hey YouTube, Warble's on a lot here, back with the Warble-Drone with the camera mounting reattached in a somewhat modified fashion, which I hope will give a slightly better view as well as a better balance. On that topic, Falcon 3 battery, as you can see it's at the back of the cockpit. There is in fact 3 10-cent pieces worth of ballast, and whereas for years and years and years I've had 2 basalt rocks the size of a marble each up the very front, I discovered yesterday that there was only 1 in there. So that's probably the cause of all of the bad flying habits, is an aft centre of gravity, because one of my ballast weights fell out probably 2 years ago, about the time that this thing got hung in a tree or something and crashed and fell out. Yeah, that's my theory. So what I've done is I've replaced the 2 small stones with 1 big one that's the mass of 2 marbles. I noticed that because yesterday the 94 gram Falcon 2 battery, even at full forward location, which I don't like doing because I like there to be some padding between the battery and the stones, was still not enough forward centre of gravity moment to cause it to fly properly, and I had to give it some nose down trim. So the grand plan now is to go for a bit of a fly without the camera, just to make sure that it will in fact still glide with the aerodynamic interference of this thing. And for the record, I've sort of come to the conclusion that the reason this thing turns to the left under power is because the left engine has probably got a bent propeller shaft, as can be demonstrated in this simple test. Flip it and it stops. Flip that one, same amount, and it turns more. So this engine is spinning faster, and therefore you get a turning moment to the left. However, some of these reconstructed propellers have a steeper pitch than others, so what I've got at the moment is a coarse pitch propeller on the slow revving engine and a fine pitch propeller on the fast revving engine, and in theory, maybe perhaps that's why it was working pretty well at the end of yesterday. Anyway, we'll see what happens now. Right, camera seems to be rolling, more or less pointed the right direction, and ever so slight turn towards the left, and it's climbing. And gliding, and it glides to the right. On the ground after something like 2 minutes and 4 seconds of actual flight. Canopy pushed back, propellers intact, one's ingested a bit of grass, camera mount is undamaged, both engines function. Right, it was decidedly underpowered, so I think I'm going to run this battery off, as in just run it at full throttle and find out how much longer it was going to run for. Like so. One minute. 1:30. 2 minutes. 2.5. 2:45. There we go. That's 4 minutes and 45 seconds total engine run time. And the very first time I used this battery was about 3 cycles ago, and I only got 3 minutes total run time. So yeah, the battery is improving. But at the moment, I don't think it's got enough grunt to carry the camera. So we'll try this one. And we'll give it a go with the camera in place. And as you can see, even with all the extra ballast up the front, I've still moved the camera slightly forward of where I used to think it should be. I'll just wait for the wind off this passing thermal to die down. And as you can see, it pretty much balances correctly. Okay, start that camera. And start that camera. And I don't like that much. On the ground. And wouldn't you know it, it found the only bloody obstacle in the whole paddock to crash onto. However, it appears no damage has been done. As you can see, the camera has slid forward a bit, and I reckon it was actually behaving as if it was still a bit tail heavy. So I'll move the ballast further forward and see if that helps, as well as move the battery forward just a bit. Okay, as you can see, I have moved the camera forward, and now we have a more pronounced nose down stance on the horizon. So hopefully that might work. Okay, that camera is running. And that camera is running. Let's hope this works. Right. There we go, on the ground again. Once again. Apparently no damage to the propellers or the wings or the tail. Now let's see how the camera's going. Oh shit, not there. And we've had very heavy damage to the camera mount. I wonder where it is. There we go. One, two, 3 paces. However, the camera is still operating, even when I turn it right side up, and despite the bloody great big chunk that got knocked out of its corner. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. I think I got something out of phase there. Anyway, I will repeat for the sake of just in casedness. Here is the bottom corner of the camera, which was still operating, and it was about 3 paces away from the plane. And yeah, it actually made a video of that crash. And even though there's probably still a bit of time left on that battery, I think we'll call that an end of the video. I'm pretty pleased with that. I hope to have got some reasonable aerial footage. And yeah, the answer is more weight further forward. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.